I'm really interested in rewilding and how we can rewild ourselves and the land and how they're interconnected with each other. And this course really spoke to that, and I felt like it's a really beautiful place to be doing it, and it's just starting as well. So it's nice to see the start of that process and how the conversation goes around that as well. So the days have been really varied, and I've learned a lot of lots of information. There's been a lot of conversation around it, and I think one of the main things that I've learned is the necessity for conversation around something like rewilding. It's not just one thing, it's a multitude of things that all need a conversation around it to get to what the action is that needs to happen in specific places. And I've learned that there's lots of people who care about this and are doing it as well. It's not just like a concept, it's something that's actually being done in the world, which is so just really exciting.
And what is it about this experience that is going to move you forward? Like, what are you going to do with your newfound knowledge and experience here in your future life?
So going forward, I'm going to be managing some nature reserves in Bristol, and I want to use what I've learned to in myself, the kind of wildness in me, to bring that into the work that I'm doing, but also to add it to the conversation around how we work, especially in a city. How can we rewild the city, if that's even possible as well? How can we have a conversation around how that can be done? And this has been a really good springboard to go into the city and see if that can work, and see if we can engage communities to really embrace this idea of rewilding and how that looks in a city as well.
Nice. And what sorts of things have you learned since you've been on the camp?
What rewilding means, and it's just so much more to it than I thought, and I've loved every minute of it. Just lots.
Something you know that there are complex systems out there, and you hear the language being used, but to then really dig deeper and get that insight into how it actually works, it just makes the whole thing so much more wonderful and so much more exciting. To then realise actually you can get involved in that, you can start to influence those systems for the benefit. So it's empowering. It's really empowering.
Great. So are you saying that being at a camp has like given you more energy to continue going along this
Absolutely.
path?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think unless you speak to other people, unless you get involved, you become stagnant, and you'll start to think about what it is that you want to do, and it becomes very small. And you can't seem to think outside the box. But when you speak to somebody else, and you join this kind of project, this kind of community, then you start to hear so much more, and you're like, oh God, I never even thought of that. Oh, that's a great idea. So yeah, you start to your web opens up, or your web spreads. And I think that's really important.
Nice one. Has coming here changed the way that you now feel about your future? And if so, how has it done that?
I think, for me, when we first started out on the journey for buying the land and what we were going to do with it, I was thinking a tiny house with a little plot of vegetables, and we were talking about a little wild meadow and this sort of stuff. And now I'm like, okay, we need much more land, because I want to rewild all of it, but I still want a little bit for crops, and I want to invite other people there, and I want lots of little tiny houses, and it's got bigger. The idea has got bigger, and I just want to see more rewilding everywhere. I've never liked concrete. I've never liked big buildings and stuff. The idea of more rewilding would just be amazing.